Papa Goot. Oh no. Papa Goot's probably a little bit hard. We got 2 dark arts here in the opener around the play though, so maybe we'll get that. I don't think I'm going to try shard sockets before the weekend. Probably next week. Today's stream's going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I have something to go do at Jake's school. So I started a little bit early. I'm only going to be going for about another hour. I might just cycle one of these Haunting Cries here onto Klutz. Nightfall's scary. This means if they have Twilight Revenants, they're going to do that next turn. I'd like to have trooped it with our champion power this turn. Ding ding ding. I mean, I love my child, but like, it's just gonna be like a bunch of 3- and 4-year-olds like derping around on a stage, right? Ooh, I can attack with my speedy Deathcrawler here before I sacrifice him to Takahiro's whims. How many scouring like that's a good question, JW. It feels like we should just like queue up with scouring. Like Diamond Sapphire Control probably just like can't lose a match on the morning Hex circuit. You've drawn both our PAs here in a matchup where we really don't want to draw a PA. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm doing this now because I'm doing it this turn anyways, and I might as well get added information from these 2 cards before I decide what I'm fate weaving with this. Not getting to Massacre or Dark Heart this turn kind of sucks. Actually, I'd probably Massacre, honestly. I feel like I actually need some action here because I want a way to get rid of this Vesper. It's like they're almost certainly going to make this too. If they play like a Twilight Eclipse next turn, I'm just dead. It's like can't interact with that through all of these. I guess maybe I really can't, right? Like this is gonna be a 4/4. Yeah, like the constant decks are pretty bad against a lot of. They never beats Diamond Sapphire Control, but it's pretty good against these blood decks. For Withering Gaze is fine. I cut these Massacres. I don't think I can afford to cut Psychic Ascension. Runebind isn't particularly good. I guess it like resets their things. Is Runebind better or worse than Demented Whispers? Like, do I want Strangle to kill their little poopers? Runebind's good at protecting me from this, and I guess it can reset Twilight Eclipses for a turn. Let's try this. And Twilight Eclipse is definitely like their single best card in the matchup, so like having that on 4 is pretty ideal. And again, like this is a deck I'm considering playing in the tournament this weekend, and like when we do testing off ladder, it's very good against the actual decks that people play in the tournaments pretty consistently. It's good against it's tested well, I should say, against the sockets decks and against the more controlling decks in the format, but like random stuff like this is just like you have bad matchups against non-metagame decks a lot of the time. Morning Q. Which honestly, that's something that like, so like when people ask like, are you better off playing, you know, a metagame deck in a tournament like the Bash, or are you better off playing something that's just objectively good? You know, it really depends on like what kind of matchups you're gonna get. And a lot of the times you're probably better off just like playing Ruby Sapphire sockets and just like this deck, there's no way this deck almost ever beats Ruby Sapphire sockets. Like they're gonna need 4 Stalking Quarries in the board, and they're gonna have to hope they don't get Runebound or Confounding Ire the turn they play it. Yeah, Candles is another great choice. Just like runs these decks out of the water. They don't give a shit about your Twilight Eclipse. They're just gonna kill you. Free block here. Go ahead and smash them with this Librarian here. They're good. There's a bunch of them. Just go pick, go grab. Huh, do I want a shard here? I guess shard here is not terrible, right? I'm gonna grab their diamond for now. That way I can take diamond cards out of their deck later. I'm gonna play this. And then do I want a Herofall or Cannibalize this turn? I probably want to Herofall this, right? I probably want to Herofall this. Guidance resolves. Withering Gaze. I'm gonna kill their Vesper in response here, and then just let this resolve. Yeah, maybe Burgle. Yeah, I guess I boarded my Massacres out, so I don't really have a good clean sweeper. Like, we're pretty far off of this. I have 2 draw 2s. They want to take my Runebind, be my guest. Blinding Ire. Okay, this is weird sequencing on their part. Like, if you're going to Blinding Ire my Librarian, shouldn't you take my Runebind so I can't Runebind it? Loose. Little loosey-goosey there. So when we draw a shard, we'll get our Librarian back. 4 Massacres in the main deck. So I know we drew a shard. I get another point, another dork off of this. So Librarian's like this sweet kind of card advantage, must answer threat, but it also the fact that they boarded in Blinding Ire. Wait, did they they generated Blinding Ire off of that. That makes sense. He also gives me dorks to sacrifice to Takahiro, which is nice. So we're gonna hit this now. Nope, this is game 2. We're post board right now. We'll just pass the turn now. Oh, I should have sacrificed the readied one, the non-readied one, right? All small myth up there. Game's a lot different. My opponent doesn't have Twilight Eclipse on 3 and 4, whatever turn that was. 4. I kind of want to find like a Dark Heart, right? Start chipping away at their board here. Disruptor Drone and Dark Heart. It's pretty good. Another Dark Heart. Okay, I'm going to start by... I'll smash with both of these. Dark of Night and Decree of Banishing. Alright, so taking Decree doesn't seem particularly exciting when I'm planning to play Dark Heart out here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Do I want to play this? Can't decide if I want to do this or not. We have 4 copies of Massacre in our main deck. This is what you're seeing on screen. The deck list tool updates while we're playing. So when we get to a post-board game here, like this game is, it updates the deck list with the cards that we currently have in our deck. Yep, that's fine. That's why I grabbed the Dark of Night earlier. Wow, that's unfortunate. Alright, so what are we doing here? No, we're definitely losing this guy. Doing this. Attack for 1 here, since this is unblockable. I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice this to my champion power, see what we find. Herofall would be great. Warpsteel. Play this out. I think... Oh, I got a Fate Weave. That's so good. I have the diamond from their deck. That's funny. I was like, what is happening? My Death Crawlers don't do stuff. It's weird that they haven't sacrificed this Blinding Ire that doesn't do anything. Let's Dark of Night this. And I'm going to Runebind this one. Yeah, deal. This is great. This means when I play this other dark card out, we're going to eat through their board even faster now. Sweet. Oh, I can just Disruptor Drone and kill this, right? Yeah, that's ideal. Now I can save that since I hit this Herofall. So I'm going to start attacking them. This 4/4 holds back this 3/2. They're going to lose 2 permanents here. Wonder if they'll realize they can sacrifice this because there's nothing under it. Or if they're going to throw away these 2. Oh, still hasn't realized there's nothing under here. So remember, when they played this, we runebound our thing in response. So alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a hit here because I attacked with this, but I think that's fine. Not a big deal. We're going to go to 11. This is going to put us to 9. Oh, I guess I should have done this in response, right? Because I could have tagged a Runebind here. Probably doesn't matter. Now the question becomes, do I want to play this out, or do I want to just wait? Because if I draw a resource like a Chant Power, I think I want to just play it out. Fine, gives me an extra blocker too in case they rip another piece of removal for this. There's 2 cards here. Cannibalize is a good pickup for them. They have at least 1 resource in their hands. Yeah, they're packing it in. Alright. Want to change anything for the 3rd game? I don't think so. You could definitely make an argument that these Cannibalizes aren't very good. Maybe I want some Strangles on the draw. I don't think I can ever... Can I cut a Psychic Ascension? I feel like I don't have time for PA a lot of the time in this matchup. Let's do this. Drawing 2 PAs sounds really bad here. Their deck's kind of aggressive. Like, hope to kill them with Dark Hearts. What does my 0/1 do? It's a 0/1 for one that when it dies, I draw a card, which synergizes with my Champion Power nicely. Because my Champion Power is free charges, sacrifice a troop, draw a card, gain 3 health. So basically on turn 3, it draws 2, gains 3. I think Demented Whispers are nice here. I mean, like, did you see that game? That game, my opponent's hand was just, like, very, very empty, right? Like, Demented Whispers are nice early, but, like, what card that's in my deck right now do you think Demented Whispers is better than? And, like, it's not even just 1 card. It's, like, what 4 cards that are in my deck right now is Demented Whispers better than? It's like what it comes out to, because you can't just board in 1 Demented Whispers, you need to board in all 4 of them. I guess I could cut, like, Psychic Ascension and Cannibalize, but, like, the buck stops there, right? Like, I kind of like everything else that's going on in my deck right now, I think. Oh. This Dork go out. If I didn't need all of my spot removal in this matchup, I'd agree that, like, bringing in that card seems fine, but, like, I need my spot removal so I don't get run out by, like, these Vesper draws, right? Haunting Cry is a great pickup here. Today is all Hex, that's correct. It is going to be a short day, though. I'm done probably about 45 minutes. We started early, ending early. I have something to do at Jake's school. Alright, what you got? Hopefully just 1 Twilight Eclipse, please. Please don't show me 2. Holy dicks. Alright, well. We're hoping We're hoping they don't find a Nightfall here. We're hoping they don't find a Nightfall. If they play a Nightfall, we're runebinding it. Things we just learned. Alright, my body. Watch him like play the fucking Twilight. God, why do I even say words like that? Why do I even say words like that? It's like immediately draw the card we wanted to take with Withering Gaze. A fucking tilt. I'm sure I'm gonna tap out for this Dark Heart, and then they're gonna play. They're gonna rip a Nightfall here. Now they have to choose, though. They have to choose, do they want to lose their Vesper, or do they want to lose the Daybreak? They probably want to lose the Vesper, right? Ooh, so they're putting themselves really far off of these Twilight Archons, then. If we... Hopefully they didn't rip Herofall. I like that, the aggressive use of that. That's neat. Because I'm not blocking here. I need this to take their stuff off the table. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to pass here. I have to sacrifice 2 things. You know, all 3 of their remaining cards are Twilight Archons. We're going to take 2 here, but then they're going to sacrifice 2 things. The Shard doesn't even really do anything for them, though, right? Oh, it lets them do this, right? Okay, that makes sense. They're going to sacrifice 2 things every turn. ZX Judgment's been very bad in my experience. The verdicts are very mediocre. Verdict's a mechanic that's good when you can, like, bury your opponent in punishers, but, like, when you're not burying them in them, it feels, like, aggressively mediocre at best. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. Hey, is this card good? How do we feel about these 4-cost dark cards? Is that a reasonable thing to be doing in Hex? These are my dark cards. My dark cards are amazing. Alright, well, we squeaked it out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that matchup's tough for us. Dark Card is definitely one of our better cards. That just like Twilight Eclipse is one of their better cards. I think they should be 3 cost. Everyone's having a great morning. Good start to your holiday season. My name is Jeff Hogan. We're hanging out playing some Hex Shards of Fate this morning. If you're enjoying what you see, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything else so that people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Those both help support myself financially directly so I can spend more time producing content like this and less time doing other stuff to make some dollaroos. If you are one of my regular watchers, make sure you check out my schedule link that's linked down below or look at my pinned tweet on Twitter. My schedule is going to be different for the next 2 weeks than it normally is. I'm going to be doing more afternoon and evening slots as opposed to morning slots because Jake's going to be off of school and I don't like to stream while both of the kids are home and awake. I mean, like, oh, if it'll just be a different format, right? Like, Control will have different cards. Like, people said the same thing about Arcane Focus, then, like, Arcane Focus is come and gone, and Control decks are still great, because, like, they printed new cards, because that's what happens when you rotate cards, you print new ones. Yep, that's exactly right. Are we really doing an Xmas stream? Yeah, I'm planning to. Like, I mean, like, Declan and Jake wake up at, like, sometimes 6:30, 7 a.m. So, like, we plan to open presents on Christmas morning with them and, like, do stuff like that. But by the time noon rolls around, they'll be spent and playing with their stuff, and Declan will be ready for a nap. So that stream schedule was approved by my boss. My boss looked that one over, and she was like, "Yeah, this is fine." All right, another Adani Zadek, which again, champions this season, kind of hard to predict exactly what they're doing. Could be a control deck, could be like the Spirit aggro deck that we've played against a couple times today. That seems pretty good though. It's got a Librarian with the Runebind to protect it. It's got a Withering Gaze here. Opponents likely pairing their Diamond card with Blood or Sapphire, which is part of the reason why Librarian is so good right now, I feel, is because so many of the decks in the format have like one of our 2 shards. So basically we're like drawing an extra card every time we hit with it. I'm going to go ahead and do this now just in case there's something like Demented Whispers that I don't want to get hit by. Alright, so looks like a Verdict aggro deck here. Really far off of that. They're missing Diamond and a 3rd shard so far. We're going to take the Runic Justice here. Opponent missed on Diamond and then didn't want to play anymore. So probably don't want these Gazes if they're a more aggressive deck. Probably want these Strangles. That's probably the only change I want to make, right? Our deck's pretty well situated against these aggressive decks with 4 Massacre and 4 Dark Heart in the main. Yeah, I think that's all I want to do. Let's go to Tricks. I don't understand. English, not Declanese. English! Do you speak it? Seems a little medium. It's probably mulligan this, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I've got Lackey and the Hunt. You wanna watch a show? Is that what you're saying? You wanna pick? You know the word pick, dude. Don't. Alright, Darkheart rolls his hand out nicely. Alright, you wanna watch Animal Mechanicals? Animal Mechanical Mission Time! Don't watch children's shows, people. They'll rot your brain. You don't actually eat that. Do you want cereal? You want this? I know you're just gonna lick the frosting off of it. Actually, that's great for us. Killing our troop there is awesome because it means that I get to scrounge Haunting Cry onto. I was thinking about just cycling Haunting Cry, but like they put our troop in the bin for us, so God bless. Oh yeah, it was. We played 3 matches, Shredder. We beat one person that didn't have their thresholds. Worth noting that our Dark Hearts can't kill their Umbral Guards, which is kind of a big deal. Hopefully he finds something to play here, so we don't have to move to hand size on our next turn. Librarian will do pig. Won a match, deck's great. Perfect, can't lose. Okay. Didn't have removal for the Librarian and packing it in. Let's try another, shall we? Librarian so good. Please ban Hex. 3 costs to put you in the game. Sargon playing a Dunny. The deck. It's fine. It's pretty hard to pass up a hand that's got like a dork in it. Like anytime we get to hit our champion power on 3, it feels pretty good. Especially when we get to pair it with Haunting Cry too. So like this hand's probably gonna go Slow Shard, Fate Weave non-resource, non-slow shard, Warpsteel, Slow Shard, Champ Power, Haunting Cry on 3. One of the things I've really kind of latched onto this season, I'm trying a bunch of different shells for. I'm trying Blood Ruby, and Blood Sapphire here, and Mono Blood even, is that this Takahiro engine with like some of these like Warpsteel and Acolyte of Flame and Naive Lackey and Haunting Cry really feels like one of the most powerful card advantage engines that we can play this season. And I really kind of want to figure out what all the correct details are surrounding this type of engine. Really small note here, but if I want to execute my plan of, do I want to bin this? I actually probably want to sack the Naive Lackey, right? I'm going to play the Sapphire Ice, put a non-resource on top. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure how I want to sequence my troops just yet. I probably want to bin this rather than this. We'll see what Sargon's playing. I think Sargon usually favors control decks. Yep. Alright, so it's going to lose me my Haunting Cry. I guess I could lose my Runebind here, depending on what they're doing. Runebind's usually not stellar against these blood decks, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Haunting Cry go away. Yeah, taking my draw 2 seems good. Deal. Always another draw 2 in the bank. And I'm going to be greedy here and stack more non-resources, especially with this Cannibalize pickup. Man, people are so dumb. Thanks for the ban. Didn't actually ban you. Now I'll ban you. Don't get mouthy with me. Come on now. Come on now. That's just use your brain, people. Thanks for the ban. I can type this message. That means I'm not banned. Well, now you're banned. All right. Glad we could clear that up for you. You're gonna be obnoxious, at least pay for the privilege to be obnoxious. Or be respectable, you know? The stream's here for everyone to enjoy. Just be a respectable human being. And if you're gonna try and needle me, at least pay $5 a month to needle me. Or send me your Amazon fund money, one of the two. And again, I don't think Runebind is particularly good in this style of matchups, so I think I'm gonna bin that. Although, what are the odds? I don't think I can know that they're playing a build without, I think I'm just fine giving you a Nightfall here. We'll draw Dark Heart at some point, right? I pay so I can be obnoxious. Yeah, that's true. That's actually probably a good idea. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I think I'm actually going to hold the second Warpsteel. Because I really... Actually, you know what? I think I missequenced here. Maybe we're supposed to Cannibalize this turn. That's not banned. Timeouts and bans are different. Like, I don't ban my children from my house, but they definitely frequently get timeouts. The old Mind Rot Mirror Match, a true classic. And I'm going to go ahead and Cannibalize now, so that way I can try and find a Withering Gaze. And I missed a point of damage here. Found a Withering Gaze, though. Having both my Psychic Ascensions in my hand here is kind of a liability. That being said, their hand is... Oh, this sucks. They're going to get to Alderthan's Glory, my stuff next turn now that I'm not going to be able to champ power. That's really awkward, and I binned my Herofall. That sucks. And like I just have 2 Psychic Ascensions in my hand. Lackey. Alright, well, I think I'm just pulling the trigger on this because I can't just take 5 from this a bunch. Also ticks these down. Massacre probably doesn't have much text in this matchup. They have Decree of Banishing and then 2 cards I don't know here. If they hit a... I'm conceding to a Demented Whispers here at any point, because like once I lose both my Psychic Ascensions, we're pretty dead here. Draw an extra card. Your troop bigger. Drawing the first PA was good because like having one as soon as I can cast it is great, but like the second one's just like this dead awkward draw. And like this is definitely a thing where like, you know, it's a good example of like why the Candlelight build might just be better than this, because like if these were Candlelights, I'd be able to kill this, so I wouldn't be taking this damage, and then the next one would make something to sacrifice to my Takahiro here. So instead of just like sitting here dying, I'd be winning the game. I'm not sure if this build is better than the other one or just like slightly different. Having 4-cost Dark Hearts feels really good, but like there's a lot of like these details, like this card is just super clunky compared to Candlelight when you draw it before turn like, I don't know, 12. Hopefully we hit a Massacre or a Lackey into a Massacre. Alright, well, so you're saying there's a chance. Opponent's hand is Decree of Banishing. Hopefully they just draw a bunch of removal here. If we hit a troop, we get to get +3 points of health, which would be great. If we hit a Dark Heart, I might even just cycle it, because we know they have a Decree of Banishing in their hand. Although the Dark Heart would get rid of their Nightfall, which is appealing. But I'd really like to draw a Naive Lackey. Drawing a Haunting Cry or a Cannibalize before we're too dead to use it would be nice too. Alright, they're Journey into Nightmare? Sure. So this was Withering Gaze. We're not actually playing this card. You don't see it in our deck list, but we Withering Gaze, which put it into our deck. Okay, need a thing yesterday. All right, that's pretty good. Am I just playing this and sacking it? Yeah, I think I am. So I could put a resource on. I'm gonna put a non-resource on top here. There's a good chance we get a resource off of their deck. I think I'm rune binding this just to not take the damage from it. There isn't an updated Linux client currently for it. I'm playing from the 10.02 build or whatever it is. Runebind this so I don't take damage. Take these down. Don't Cockatrice or Whispers me. From the Ashes. What's in my bin? Getting like a glory back here? Sure. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's see what we get. We are dead if we brick on this. Things that I'm aware of. Alright, well that's not a brick, so that's good. Play this, sack it to this, go up to 8. I'm gonna do this. Need to wash your hands. Icky. Alright, play this out. Pass the turn. I'm assuming they've been to the Decree of Banishing. Yep, sweet. And then I think I'm actually going to chump block. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, Burgle. I think we're supposed to play that there, though. Like, if the Stalking Quarry flips, I'm kind of fucked either way, right? Just, like, hope they don't have removal here. Which they're pretty likely do. If they don't hit removal here, we could probably stabilize this game. We get Herofall here. Quality pause. I could have Psychic Ascended there, but again, like, had we been playing the version of this deck that has what's it called in it? Candlelight, we definitely would have won that game. Runebind's pretty bad here. Runebind's like okay. I only have one Runebind in my deck. Runebind's like fine with Dark Heart. Right, yep, definitely need to change those to Berry. Actually, do I want all the Dark Hearts? Yeah, like there was like a perfect storm of like things that were bad beats for us there, right? Like their thing came off the turn they needed it to. They ripped the removal spell when they needed to. We drew a shard off of their deck instead of drawing the removal spell. Like there were a lot of things that could have gone better for us there. That's fair. I'll do this. Let's do this. Yeah, it sounds good. Librarian puts my opponent in like an annoying spot in this type of matchup because like they want to trim their removal but they can't because they need to answer Librarian. Withering Gaze resolves. Probably lose Cannibalize. I would like to take Librarian, but that's not an option. He took my Haunting Cry? That's curious. Am I playing this Disruptor Drone out? Sure. Apply some pressure to their health total here. Okay, Burgle, here's a question. Do I need the extra thing from him, or can I sacrifice my extra dork right away? You'd wait on it? Why would you wait on it? Like, doesn't having the extra card in my hand good if, like, if I get cockatrice? Although I guess if I get cockatrice, I just, like, bin these two. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'd buy that for $1.
Yucky.
Yucky, yep. Dad's gonna grab a wipe.
Rock.
Yuck. You're a yucky monster. There you go. There you go. Where's that other one at? Did you actually eat it? Ugh. I can get like Clash of Steel, right?
Mommy's gone.
Also,
Hey, mommy's gone.
yeah, dude, you do you. And like they 2-for-1 does here, but like my Librarian's gonna draw a card next turn, right? And this Cannibalize is gonna draw 2 cards as well. Yeah, it felt like it lacked velocity clutch. Like the games where I didn't draw Eyes of the Heart, I basically felt like I just wasn't doing anything. And like with only Consult as a way to really generate velocity, I felt like I didn't have enough ways to get to my 4 Eyes of the Heart consistently. Well, I just want their Demented Whispers, right? Like that's just like aces.
My dad, who's my dad?
So now there's 5 Demented Whispers in my deck. I'm play this shard out, and I'm not going to champ power this. Nah, maybe I should. What are the odds there's Massacres in their deck? Probably low. And if they Massacre me, I just can sack the Librarian because I don't need it anymore. If they Cockatrice me, I'm just going to lose that extra card. I already hit a resource for the turn. Twilight Justice, sure. It's really annoying that I can't respond to this verdict. So like if they pick Sacrifice an Artifact or Constant I control, I actually just can't respond to that trigger. Which is really frustrating. I can respond to this one for some reason. Yep, draw a card. This Librarian is giving him the business at least though, so we got that going for us. Take another Demented Whispers here. Withering Gaze sounds great. What you got? They have Stalking Quarry in their deck still? Why is Stalking Quarry still in their deck? Well, I'm going to take ZX Judgment away from them. I'm going to play Cannibalize, trying to shard drop here. I'm aware of why I can't respond. It's still annoying. So do I sacrifice my thing to try and hit a shard drop here? Probably not, right? I think if they play Quarry, I want this to still be unblockable, right? Yeah, I don't think so either. And like on this Twilight Justice that they're going to play out, I got to dodge -1/-1 as a verdict choice. Cockatrice, sure. Yeah. I don't know what. This seems like a mismanagement. Like, they need to. They're losing on board. Like, this card is just, like, drawing me an extra card every turn. So, like, making me discard 2 when I'm drawing 2 every single turn does not seem particularly like a good line. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attack first here because we could hit a Demented Whispers off of their deck. And then this Demented Whispers will escalate the other one. Journey into Nightmare and a Haunting card they took from me earlier. I wish I could see what was in my bin. I haven't had any extra troops die this game, I don't think. So I'm going to take their Journey. I have 2 troops in. I only have 1. Good memory, Hogland. Alright, so let's do this to start. Oh, no. I'm going to Oh, fuck! Yeah, okay. So, Hex changed the stupid interface. And apparently this was an unintentional bug that hopefully I need to put a fucking sticky note on my monitor for tomorrow. So before the last patch, or 2 patches ago now, if you hit escape while playing a scrounge card, it stopped playing the scrounge card. And now when you press escape while playing a scrounge card, it just plays the card without scrounging it. So we're down a card now because of that. This is really frustrating. I'm only going to attack with the Librarian here because they showed us that stupid destroy all attacking troops card. And if they have that, I don't want to lose my Library Curator. Withering Gaze. Alright, what you got? What you got? What you got? Actually, am I playing this? Yeah, I am. Wait, did they discard from the Ashes? I can't actually know at this point. I should have checked earlier. They didn't. Alright, sweet. So, if I'd have drawn, and it's like, that bug could really cost us this game. If I'd have drawn the extra card with the last Scream, or Haunting Cry, I'd have been able to Withering Gaze plus Darkheart this turn, and then they'd lose this Twilight Justice. Like, if they draw a Verdict card, or even a resource for this, and they get to pick the Verdict, that's very bad for us. Steel Intel is taking my Herofall. Sure, that's fine. So we're gonna lose. We're gonna finally lose the Librarian. He's drawn plenty of cards. That's fine. He died a hero. A hero among men. Alright, let's play this Darkheart out. This is burying 9 cards. And you can see here, between these Demented Whispers and my Darkheart having the Bury Gem in them and the Librarians, we're actually a pseudo-mill deck post-board in these control matchups. 10 out of 10 a pseudo-mill deck. So they're not a 19 cards in deck. So like, the next Demented Whispers we draw is going to bury them out of the game. In addition to, like, squeezing their health total. So, like, they need to answer this, but they also need to answer that. Have a Nightfall. My troops can get smaller. So, whispers you. I mean, the deck that... So, like... I feel like when people say, like, why isn't X played anymore, like, you're going off of just your experience playing on the ladder. Like, again, the ladder isn't representative of what decks are good in Hex. It's not. If you look at the results from the last couple of Bash tournaments, there have been a ton of Bride decks being very successful in those tournaments because they are very good. So... a lot of people, Bride is an expensive card in terms of how many dollars it costs, which is why you don't see a ton of people playing it. I'm going to do this so we can draw 2 cards in case I want to discard at random from this. Have a Daybreak. Just add the Psychic Ascension for insult to injury. You should, the bashes should be your go-to source for what's good, bad, or otherwise. Not, like, using the random sample of, like, what you played against on the ladder is not a good source for, like, what's good, bad, or otherwise. They have Twilight Eclipse in their deck? I guess this is a bonus. I can look at all their cards. Alright, Burgle. They have Twilight Eclipse and Justice too. I'm bringing in all 4. I'm bringing in all 3 Disruptor Drones for the 3rd game. Yep. Yeah, Crazy Ship is exactly correct. Ah, if I'd have done that first, I could have buried him out with Demented Whispers instead of playing this Journey Nightmare. Did I didn't notice. Definitely wasn't paying enough attention to notice that. Oh yeah, they did board out, looked like almost all of their troops, right? So I probably want to do this. They left in Stalking Quarry, but, like, I'm not really worried about that, right? Extra Warpsteel is probably fine. I wonder if I want a different gem in these. Yeah, I'm gonna put Berry in these. Oh, I have berries in my Darkheart, so I can't put berries in these. Yeah, I'm just gonna put speed in these, actually, because they have so few troops. Although I guess... I guess they left Stalking Quarry in, so do I want to board in another one of these? No, I'm actually just going to leave a Strangle in. Leave 1 Strangle in for their quarries. Though that's also in my... Oh, no, I did pull that out of my Darkheart. You're right, because I switched that. Yeah, I should have put +1/+1 in action in those. I was thinking, like, no, I can't bury those in my dark hearts. Like, no, I can't wit those are my dark hearts. Wait, those aren't both in my dark hearts. I think this hand's a pretty easy redraw. It needs Sapphire to function, and it also needs more non-resources, needs a troop. This hand just needs blood to function, and we've got two Fate Weaves here. Hopefully we don't get double Demented Whispers, because if we get double Demented Whispered, they're going to bury our Fate Weaves. I think if they Demented Whispers us here, we're actually discarding the Psychic Ascension. Yep, it's unfortunate. It's mostly unfortunate because we lose our Fate Weave. Would have been a Blood Shard. I mean, more power to you. If they Whisper us again this turn, I'm going to Runebind it so I can keep my Fate Weave. Okay, Judgment's fine. Have a Phantom. Have a 2/2 Phantom. They have the Abomination gem on their Stalking Quarries. Please not a Sapphire. Please not a Sapphire. Ding, ding, ding. They have Abomination on their Stalking Quarries tracks. Is the TLDR. Great. No, they put speed in them. Okay. I guess I should have checked that. But game 1, they had Abomination. Sure. So they are going for the aggro beatdowns. I think we're leading on Haunting Cry here, depending on what we draw. Unless we draw an Ice. If we draw an Ice, we'll just Demented Whispers them. Another Demented Whispers. Huh. Yeah, I think I just can't afford to miss this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. With the next Demented Whispers draw, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of Journey plus Twilight. So hopefully they have another 5-drop in their hand, and they brick this turn. And then we can... Oh, that means we're probably dead. Good beats. Good beats. Need to hit exactly Disruptor Drone plus Shard. Alright, well, that gives me 2 draws of Disruptor Drone. Yep, probably just going to take slightly too much damage here. And again, like we mentioned earlier when we were playing it, someone that this was like the best card in their deck against us, and this is certainly the best card in their deck against us. I'd probably recommend just picking up cards off the auction house then. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the day, folks. I feel like we got a little bit unlucky to lose the first game in that set, but the third game they just like kind of had the nuts, right? Just like a bunch of aggressive things into the Twilight Eclipse that we couldn't answer. And honestly might just be like I want 4 Disruptor Drones in my board because like the random constants based decks are just like they're not particularly good, but they're good against us. So I think like if we expect our biggest weakness to be like random bullshit like Twilight Eclipse, just like pack 4 Disruptor Drones if it's good against the thing that's really good against you. The first game worth noting again that like we would have like 10 out of 10 won that first game had we been playing the Splash Ruby configuration, because these Psychic Ascensions would have been Candlelights that game and would have been actually be able to play them and not die. At any rate, I think I'm almost certainly playing one of these blood-based configurations in the Bash tomorrow, and I'm not sure if it's going to be this one or the Ruby Splash like I played in top 8 with last weekend. Everyone have a good holiday, and I'll be back with more Hex at some point next week. I believe I'm going to do a little bit on... no, I don't even actually know. Just look at my schedule. My schedule's linked below. It's different. I'm not going to try and say something and then be wrong. So, peace, folks. Everyone have a good one.